Scott Leadingham. Thanks for joining us here in the unique Northwest. Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, and a lot of other states are in the news for the presidential primary contest, but there are other elections to be watching, and those are elections for things like bonds and levies for schools and EMS. And those are some of the things that we will be talking about here on this episode. Thanks for joining us today, Kanale Rhoden.
Thanks for having me.
So Kanale is the producer and host for NWPB's special election year initiative called NWPB Vote 2020. So we're going to be delving into what we're going to be talking about over the next year in that vein. In this initiative, trying to drill down into kind of the local and regional issues, not just the presidential year. That's a big thing, of course. You're going to hear about that and see that a lot on the news, but we want to talk about the things that affect the Northwest. On that note, special election recently that had a lot of bonds and levies for school districts and EMS and those sorts of things. So we're not going to talk about the results right now because those are still being counted. Right. So we're going to focus though on just kind of the issues about why those are important. So on that note, part of what we were talking about is why those issues are not only important, but kind of the background of why we even have to fund public education in these ways, some levies and bonds and these sorts of things. So first though, nuts and bolts. What is the difference between a bond and a levy? Some people might not know that.
Yeah, so I sat down with Pullman Superintendent Bob Maxwell, who really put it in a very plain way. A bond is for building, and a levy is for learning at the very basics of it. So these school districts who pass bonds and levies, bond dollars will help capital projects for them, build new schools, renovate current schools that potentially they don't have funding from the state. And then levy would be to fill the gap of teacher salaries or nursing salaries, or if a school wants to start a new program at a high school, like an AP program or a video production program. For the most part, the state doesn't fund that kind of thing, and so they rely on these levy dollars to help fill that gap and provide a little more experiential learning for students in school.
You can learn more about this initiative and all the other news that we cover at our website, nwpb.org. Thank you for joining us here in the unique Northwest.